The notational system that I use is quite simple. The section is broken up into a lower left-hand section and an upper right-hand section. The left hand is going to be broken up into either a low dot, a middle dot, or a high dot. If you have smaller hands, you will be mimicking the chord that the right hand has. For example, if the chord in the right hand is A minor, then in the left hand, you'll also consider these three notes as your low, middle, and high options. So a low dot would be the bottom note of the chord, middle dot is going to be the middle note of a chord, and the high dot will be the high note of a chord. If you have larger hands and can span an octave, then the low dot is going to be the bottom note with the pinky, the top dot is going to be the thumb, and the middle dot will be the fifth, which is located between these two notes. That will be with finger 2, and I will specify in each pattern what this note will be, because at this point we haven't really discussed how to determine a fifth, so I'll help you with that in each example. For the right hand, you'll notice that the dots are mostly stacked vertically on top of one another. This represents to play all three notes in the right-hand chord at the same time, like so. But you may also find that the dots are broken up. The bottom dot in the right hand is the bottom note of the chord, the middle dot will be the middle note of the chord, and the top dot will be the top note of a chord. So if you just see the bottom dot, you just play the thumb. Let's say you just see the top two dots. You would just play the top two notes, so on and so forth. You may also find examples where dots have lines connecting them. And what this means is that you are to play the two notes quickly in succession, like so, for the left hand or for the right hand. It may even be connected between the left hand and the right hand dots. So if that line spans from the bottom of the left hand up to the top of the right hand, we'll be trying something that might look like this. Or, of course, I'll specify in each pattern how to break this down and how to better understand it. If you see two series of chords, in other words, three vertically stacked dots on top of one another right beside each other, this is going to represent a double tap of the chord, like so. Or if there's three of these beside each other, then it'll be a triple tap. Each of these examples can be played with a straight rhythm or a swung rhythm. Without breaking down exactly how straight and swung rhythms work, here's an example of how 1A would sound with a straight rhythm and then a swung rhythm. That was straight, and that's swung. So we can associate straight rhythms with genres like standard pop music or classical music, a lot of westernized sort of traditional music, and then for the swung stuff, we're going to be associating that with hip-hop, R&B, soul, jazz, some funk, that kind of stuff. So I'll break down each example and play them for you in a straight rhythm and a swung rhythm. You will also see on the right side in the white section Bpm Suggestions, and Bpm, if you don't know, stands for beats per minute. This is something you will be putting into a metronome, whether it be a physical metronome that you own or an app that you purchase. The top number will represent an easy difficulty level, the middle number will represent an intermediate difficulty level, and the bottom number will be the most difficult suggested speed. Of course, starting slower or progressing faster than the suggested speeds is encouraged. Underneath the metronome markings, you will see the word jam. This is here as a friendly reminder to let you know that within Section 4, each and every rhythmic pattern has its own downloadable audio file that is a 5-minute drum loop, and it's designed for you to practice along with so you can bridge the gap between playing with a metronome and playing with a full band. To be clear, you'll be looking to the right side of each pattern link within the overall playlist of videos. There you will see the word resources, you just click that and then download the audio file. So it's just meant to kind of give you a little bit more of a real life scenario as to how these patterns are going to feel and really help you get into the groove of them. The last thing is below that, you'll find some suggested chords, and these will be sets of 2 chords per example. Of course, you can do every example with just A minor, as mentioned in the previous video, but I do suggest if you want to get more adventurous and really play around with these exercises, try the suggested chords for each example. Also, at the very bottom of that section, you will see 3 colored dots, red equals 2, green equals 3, and blue equals 4. This simply means that if you were to see a red dot, you would hold the chord or the single note for a value of 2. If you see a green dot, you would hold it for a value of 3, and if you see a blue dot, you hold it for a value of 4. So a white dot, 1, red dot, 1, 2, green dot, 1, 2, 3, and blue dot, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of this is going to make a lot more sense once you actually start to get into the patterns. Of course, I'm going to give you as much detail as I can as we go. I really hope that this makes some sense and that you find yourself comfortable getting into the first video. As soon as you're ready, jump on over and I'll help you through your first funky rhythmic piano part. See you there.